before we get going, I just want to point out we recognize that a lot of people have a lot of trauma in different areas and specifically religious trauma. So I wanted to just take a moment here. This episode that we're going to talk about does delve into religion. We want people to know that this episode really isn't going to be one that is so much traumatic. And so we really hope that people will stay through this episode because we're not going to dig deep into this episode about a whole lot of religious beliefs in ways that may re-traumatize somebody. So we really hope that even if you have religious trauma, please stay. This is a episode that I think will mean a lot to you, and may just kind of help out with some of that trauma, actually. That being said, on the flip side of things, we give space for everybody wherever it is that they are at in their journey. So if you are still very much in a religious space and community, culture, all of that, we give space for you and your beliefs. Also, we've had several podcasts where we've brought on different religious leaders. This podcast is going to be a little more on the other side about helping people learn how or see different ways to help deconstruct some beliefs. We're not here to shit on anybody's beliefs, and so we're going to, be as respectful as possible, but also we are going to just be very frank about some of the things that people go through, some of the belief systems they go through, and some of those traumas. And so whether you're still in religion or you're wanting to deconstruct religion or you've left it, this is an episode, I think, that is for everybody. And so we just wanted to just kind of throw a little forward in here, maybe even trigger warning, but just let people know that, hey, this episode I think is good. I don't think this is going to be one that is going to re-traumatize people. I don't think so. And so I don't know. We really hope you'll stay around for this one.
Welcome back to the Transplaining Podcast. My name is Bear, joined by the lovely Daphne, who's got bowling ball and pin earrings.
They are. Actually, I think you were with me when we got these ones. I think it was at a Pride event we got these.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember those.
Portland Pride when we first started.
Yeah. Super cute.
Yeah. I don't know. I like them. I figure Halloween's coming up, so we're going to have some fun with it.
Yeah.
I wanted to apologize to our listeners. We've missed the last 2 weeks. We had some cancellations happen, and then we had some technical difficulties.
Yes.
So we apologize about that, but we are back on track, and we have a great seasonal lineup coming up. We've got some exciting projects that we're working on. We got some exciting interviews, so I'm really looking forward to it. There should be a lot coming on.
A lot of good ideas coming up, especially for holiday time.
Yeah. And we redid the logos, so I'm really excited about the logos.
Yeah, those are cute too.
Thank you. Okay, today's guest is a guy goes by the name or by the handle. We'll go with by the handle, the Naked Pastor, which is like one of the biggest wild things that I don't know. When I first heard about the Naked Pastor, I was just like, what is this? But he's got a really cool mission that he goes around and does, and we're just going to go with David because I'm not going to call you Naked Pastor the entire time, if that's okay. But I first learned about David through a different podcast.
Right
so,
on.
Yeah, I'm excited to have him here with us today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
Right on.
So are you in war-torn Portland?
Yes, we are. We are
Wow.
burning to the ground. That's why we're not wearing sweaters. It's too hot from the fires. Yeah. So, David, I discovered you through the Latter Gay Stories podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a couple of years ago. I recorded that down in Salt Lake City. Yeah.
Yes, you had flown down for something, and then I don't remember what it was, but yeah, you went and did an episode with them. I was in the process.
It was at an Affirm
right
meeting.
Conference.
And conference. I was just one of the speakers there, and Latter Day stories was there, and so that they pulled me aside and we did an episode. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I was in the process of transitioning, just starting to transition, and I was trying to kind of work my way through that. I had been listening to Mormon Stories podcast, and that was helping me deconstruct a lot of Mormonism and the area I was. But then in the process, I also discovered Latter-Gay Stories, and I was listening to them, and there's an episode about the naked pastor, and I'm like, what is this? And I discovered you, and the story was, I thought, inspirational. I love what it is that you're doing, and I don't know. It made a big difference for me. It made a big difference for me. And I know during that time, I had reached out to you a few times. We had talked several times, not on the phone line or whatever like this, but we had some conversations. And I don't know. The things that you do made a big difference in my life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot. That really means a lot. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess all to say that your work isn't wasted at all. It makes a big difference in a lot of people's lives. So,
well, that means a great deal. Thank you.
Oh, I'm on the run. Give me a second.
What?
I gotta make an adjustment here. There, that's much better. Sorry, guys. I had to move the camera just a skosh.
A skosh.
A skosh. Had to move it a smidgen.
A bloop to the left.
Yeah. So, David, I was inspired by your story, where just kind of going through the roots that you grew up with and what led you into the work that you do. So I would love to kind of go over that again, rehear your story and share it with our listeners, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Do you have a question, or I might just dive in?
Just dive right in. We'll go in the deep end.
Okay. So I grew up in a Christian home. You know, I say I'm my own ecumenical movement because I've been in so many churches and denominations. I never grew up faithful to anyone. Like,
Right.
I was born and baptized in the Anglican Church, which would be Episcopal in the U.S. But we moved around quite a bit, and we just went to whatever church was convenient and all that. But we finally ended up in my teen years in a Baptist church, where I got saved, and then I put them in air quotes in case people just listening.
Yeah.
And then we switched to a Pentecostal church, and with all of that. And then I went to a Pentecostal Bible college.
Right.
That's where I met my wife. I went to an evangelical seminary. I went to college and seminary in the States. I'm Canadian, by the way. And
Right on.
so, and then I ended up back in Canada, ended up getting ordained as a Presbyterian, and switched to Vineyard, and then I left the ministry in 2010. But I started a blog called Naked Pastor in 2005, and I just started in 2006 trying cartoons to convey my message.
Yeah.
And that's what really got Naked Pastor kind of out there.
Right.
And it's been going strong ever since.
Yeah, I don't know. One of the things that really stuck out to me. Actually, I want to back up just a sec. You said you're from Canada. What part of Canada were you in?
I was in Ontario, like Toronto's my birthplace.
Right.
But now I'm out east.
And
So,
Toronto, that's right across the river from Niagara Falls, whatever. Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm out east, and I'm an hour from Maine.
Okay.
So we're in another time zone.
I was. Wait. There's a. You know what? Whatever. I'm not going to dig into the geography. There was a. I had a Canadian friend one time, and I was talking to him. I said, "Do you guys have like countryisms up there in Canada?" And he goes, "What are you talking about?" I was like, I'm trying to think right now. Countryisms, we'll have them down here where it's like, boy, that's wetter than a fart in a skillet or some stupid shit like that.
Oh.
And the guy goes, no, we don't have anything like that. I was like, really? Because I feel like you should have something like, boy, it's colder than a polar bear's tits up here.
Or when it's
We do.
raining.
Oh,
We
do you?
do.
okay.
I want to hear your countryism.
Oh, I can't think of any off the top, but that's one of them.
If it's not, it is now. I love that. Okay, so can we go a little over what it was that got you there? If I remember right, there was a section you had worked up into being a pastor, and then after a while into being a pastor, you were more on the progressive side of things, if I remember right. And you want to lead more kind of what led into that, and then what happened as being a pastor.
Well, when I was a really diehard, dove in the deep end kind of Christian. Like I was very zealous, super Christian.
Yeah.
So I still have my Bible from when I was a teenager, all underlined in different colors and notes in the margin and everything like that. So I was fully invested. Okay, all in, as the gambling term goes, and it was when and the Bible college I went to was Pentecostal, so that sort of ingrained all that stuff. But when I went to seminary, that's when I really started deconstructing my beliefs and everything. And by the time I graduated, I wasn't sure I believed in the inspiration of Scripture anymore. And that's what really, really launched my deconstruction.
What part of it was what was it that you were reading in Scripture or what was the thing that really helped you start deconstructing? Like, was there something that broke the shelf?
Yep. I'd finished all my studies. I was getting ready to graduate. I had nothing to do. I'd finished all my exams, all my papers. I knew I was graduating cum laude, etc. I'd studied biblical Greek, biblical Hebrew, biblical Aramaic. Started studying theological French, theological German, all this kind of stuff.
Oh my goodness!
And I was ready to go for my PhD in New Testament, but I had a few days to spare, and so we all went down to Boston. That's where I was studying, and went to the Coop, the Harvard Coop.
Okay.
And there was a bookstore there, and I saw a book on the shelf that caught my eye, and I liked the name of the title. I thought I'm going to pick that up and read it, because I had nothing to do.
Yeah.
And in case people ask, and often they do,
what was the
book? It was called The Silence of Jesus by James Breach. And it devastated me. It just it really made me question the inspiration of Scripture, because he basically came to the conclusion that there were maybe, if we're lucky, 7 sayings of Jesus that are authentic, and the rest were, put in his mouth by the gospel writers or whatever, or oral tradition or whatever.
Okay.
It devastated me. It wasn't like I just thought, oh, the Bible isn't inspired anymore. What it did for me was, is the Bible inspired or not? So that's what began my deconstruction.
Can you give us an example of one of those examples that it gave?
Well, mostly they're the parables.
Okay.
So, the woman looking for the lost coin, the prodigal son,
right?
Stories like that, that scholars of the historical Jesus would agree were authentic.
Yeah.
And or possibly authentic.
Right.
So it was things like that, like we could get into the whole, dissecting Scripture and all that. But
right.
The point was, it was like corrupt code had been inserted into my theological hard drive and just started corrupting my file. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
It took a long time, decades.
Yeah.
But it culminated in 2009, and that led to me leaving the ministry a year later.
Now, I was under the impression, maybe I'm wrong, it was not that you stepped away from it, but that you were kicked out. Does that sound right? Or did you just step away?
I've done both.
All right.
Okay.
I've fired, and I've also quit. And
Okay.
the last time I left the ministry was a mutual, amicable divorce, let's say, where
Yeah.
we agreed we were no longer theologically compatible.
Yeah.
And I left the ministry. It was on kind of good terms, but kind of not.
Right.
But that's what ended my time in the ministry. Now, I'd served the church 30 years as a pastor. So it wasn't like I was throwing in the towel.
Right.
It was like
it was a big deal.
I could no longer stay and continue on my own spiritual journey.
Now, was it just that you were deconstructing the beliefs, or was it anything? Was it like particular movements that just made you say, "Hey, I can't do this anymore," or combination? I don't
So
know.
for me, I was beginning to realize that Christians and the church and Christianity don't own God.
Yeah.
Even though they might claim to have the corner on the market there, I began to realize that there's something beyond religion and the church and the Bible and all this. And so I was expanding my horizons, let's say.
Yeah.
And of course, being a pastor of a fairly conservative church, that doesn't work usually.
Yeah, fair enough. That's kind of and the same process for me when I was deconstructing Mormonism. There's a very strict box that you're supposed to be in, and when you don't conform or fit in that box, I don't know.
Yeah. I
yeah.
get it. And I was fortunate enough. I think it was because I was never dedicated to any one denomination. I always felt free to move on to a bigger box.
Yeah.
And then I realized at the end, wait a minute, there is no box. It's very matrixy, but like there is no spoon. There is no box.
Yeah.
And realizing that liberated me and led to me walking away from it.
Okay. Do you still have beliefs in either a god or some higher power, anything like that?
So the way I talk about that is I'm more interested in what's beyond the words and what's beyond the thoughts.
What do you mean?
Krishnamurti once said, the word is not the thing. So for me, the words and the beliefs are signs that attempt to point to a reality.
Okay.
So let's say the word God and the theology God, basically that's what theology means, is words about God.
Yeah.
Attempt to point to God. So I'm interested in, when we say beliefs, I'm like, okay, what are these beliefs pointing to? Is that real or not? And so the thing that was the culmination for me in 2009 was I had this flash of, I don't know what to call it, a flash of insight or like I don't want to call it a revelation because that sounds like, like it was dumped on me from heaven, but it was like suddenly I realized that we're all one and we're all connected.
Yeah.
So God, you, me, everything, all out in between, it's all one thing. And that for me was a profound mystical moment that eventually led to me walking away from the church.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Family Guy says the bird is the word, and the word bird is the word.
No.
Family Guy, yeah.
Family Guy speaks all truth.
There's a lot of good theology in those shows, and South Park incorporate.
Yeah.
But,
fair enough. So a lot of what you do now is you're doing a lot of art and spreading messages of love through art. And
some people think so.
Some people, fair. I've seen some of the other comments too. Your art was one of the things that really touched me. It was more than the story. The story fascinated me and I loved it. But then when I went and checked out the art, because you were talking about these different pieces of art that you've done, and it intrigued me, and I went and started looking these up, and it really made a big difference for me. So I actually own two of your art pieces, the two that really meant a lot to me. Yeah. They really meant a lot to me. They've changed a lot of things for me and helped me through that phase of my life. And so if I don't know, can before we jump into the art, do you mind talking about faith intermixed with being in the LGBT community, and maybe even a little more specifically about being trans? Because a lot of people use the clobber passages to really hate on the community and to hit on it, and a lot of what you do is support the community. So if you don't mind, can we kind of have that conversation?
Oh, absolutely. I've known gay people and trans people for most of my life.
Yeah.
I remember moments in my life where I met and became friends with a gay man. That was when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I remember meeting a trans person when I was in my 20s. And even though I was in the church, like, and full on, fully invested in all that,
Right.
at the same time, I had friends that I loved, new people that I loved, who were gay, trans, lesbian, bi, whatever. And I, in my heart, knew, if there was a God, that why would he punish or exclude somebody like this who was an amazing, lovely person?
Yeah.
I felt that same way about an atheist cousin of mine who grown up in a very patriarchal, controlling Christian home and decided not to believe in it. And I'm like, I totally empathized with them.
Yeah.
And so I had these two things going on inside of myself, where I was an evangelical, but at the same time, there's no way God would judge people
Right.
for being who they are, and that's really what my deconstruction looked like. That was my theological struggle, was integrating evangelicalism or conservative Christianity or whatever with the reality that there are people out there that are different than I am.
Yes.
And why judge? So, or why would you punish? Like, in a burning fire forever and ever, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what my struggle was. And so I've never felt like I had to figure out theologically how gay people fit or trans people fit. That to me wasn't my struggle. My struggle was how does this all integrate?
Yes. Yeah.
And what I decided was, well, I didn't decide. It actually happened to me in that moment in 2009, where I saw we're all one, we're all connected.
Mm-hmm.
There's no division or separation. We're one, and that was, it sort of lifted me above the argument.
Yeah.
Just I transcended the debate.
You transitioned.
Yeah.
So when I discovered you, I was working as a subcontractor for the LDS church, and I was doing remodels on their temples. And I was the head electrician doing this work on those temples. And you've seen the buildings, I'm sure. They're beautiful, gorgeous buildings. And we're sitting here doing this, and when I first started, I was really strong, really locked into the belief system. And one of the things that really kind of kicked in for me was the same kind of thing, right? Was I would be in their celestial room, and this was supposed to be essentially heaven on earth in this room, and I would be in there, and you have to have all these strict requirements. You have to pay tithing, you have to meet all these other standards, you have to wear garments, you have to uh, just you have to meet all these different set of requirements to even go there. And one of the things that upset me was that I couldn't believe in a God. If you have a God that truly is all encompassing and all loving and perfect in all those ways. I had a daughter. I couldn't imagine ever being a person that would ever keep my daughter out of a place like that. And I was like, how does a God with more perfect love than I have be able to tell their kids, no, you can't come into my house? And that, so very similar. That was one of the things that really
Exactly.
kicked it off for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's called empathy.
Imagine that. Well, and
Love.
yeah, and one of the things that you said I wanted to point out was you were around gay people and trans people and seeing them and being around them humanized what that was, and that was one of the things as well. And that's one of the things we see a lot in the community is the community is not humanized. They're demonized and set apart as this big scary thing. But if you get around people and you get to know the people, it really changes things for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, wrong one.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I talk about this a lot. People
Yeah.
believe what they want to believe. Nobody is forced to believe anything they don't want to believe. You believe what you want to believe.
Yeah.
For me, there's something wrong with the human heart if you hate a trans person, let's say. You can't say, well, my theology demands that I hate this person. You hate that person and you found a theology that justifies your
Yes.
heart.
Yes.
That, to me, the problem is in the human heart. And you can find anything to support whatever you believe, even in
Yes.
scripture.
Yes.
And so that, to me, has become the target, is the human heart.
Well, and I think that hate can also be programmed into you. It may not
Yes.
necessarily be that you started off going, oh, I hate people because they're black, or I hate people because they're in the LGBT community. But at the same time, that's something that can be programmed into you, and you not realize that you are having this stance that hurts other people because in your eyes you're doing the thing that you were trained to do.
Well, it's like in Canada, we are putting two S in front of LGBTQIA, so it's
Yes.
two S for
Plus.
two spirit,
Yep.
and it's First Nations, two spirit people. Yeah, they have their challenges as well,
Yeah.
but it's understood that this is just another identity, and it's
Yes.
not a problem. And there are actually, in many First Nations cultures, are honored. And so
Yes.
you can grow up honoring people who are different than you.
Yeah.
It's possible.
And it's interesting to me because, like, in the LDS religion, they have a song, if you don't walk like some people do, some people might make fun of you, but I won't, something along those lines, right? And then it goes, some people don't talk the way you do, some people don't walk the way you do, and keep saying, but I won't, I'll walk with you, I'll talk with you. That's what love will do, right? And they have this song, and I just thought that's an amazing song, and I love it. But then when it comes down to people that are actually different, that's not reciprocated. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I find that, well, and maybe that's not fair. Maybe it's not fair to quite say it that way, but in a large portion of members and and some of the culture, in some of the culture that you see that come out a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to have members and in any area that are going to see things differently, but I don't know. I see that reciprocated in a lot of cultures anyway.
Well, that speaks to what I was just mentioning, that, you could sing that song, but if someone says, oh, well, that means you shouldn't judge gay people or trans people, the human mind can figure out a way to twist that,
Right.
you know. So that I get it all the time where people are talking about how gay or trans people should be treated. That sounds very cruel and hateful, but
Yes.
they think it's love.
Yeah. Well, and
And
what's the scripture? They draw near to me with their lips, and their hearts are far from me, or something like that, right?
yeah, 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 exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I found all of this inspirational. How you went from being fairly orthodox, and then finding these different examples that changed how you see things, and I don't know. I find that in a lot of ways, and when you have people you don't understand, if you go spend time with them, it really opens up your world for love. One of the things that I discovered when I walked away from the church was that you could find more love almost outside of the church than you could find in it. There was so much beauty outside of it, and that was something interesting because you didn't know that even existed because you've been programmed that isn't the case.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yeah, confirmation bias, right? I mean, it's happening everywhere. One of the biggest aha moments for me. Lisa and I were living in Canada. My wife and I living in Canada. We met with some friends of ours who went to the same seminary, and we met in Bangor, Maine,
Yeah.
one weekend, and rented a hotel room, and so we just were hanging out all weekend. And one night you know, we went out for dinner and having a nice dinner, and they were talking about how they were sharing a house with a lesbian couple, and I was like, okay. And I was still in that stage of trying to figure out, okay, how does this all fit?
Right.
How does this all fit? And then we got back to our hotel room. We filled up our travel mugs with wine, and then went down to the hot tub. And so we're there in the hot tub, and there's two guys there in the hot tub, and we just start talking and asking, we're talking about what we did for our jobs and all that. And my friend, he was an editor, and and then they asked what I did, and I said, well, I'm a pastor. And one of the
Yeah.
guys got out of the tub and left.
Oh my
And he
goodness.
said, you'll have to excuse him, but we
Yeah.
were really burned by the church.
Yes.
And I was like, well, what happened? And he said, well, we came out and the church kicked us out. We lost our jobs. We can't even get furnace oil delivered to our house because we're gay and all this. And I'm like, something's terribly wrong here.
Yes.
So for me, I would rather stand with those people than stand with those who persecuted them.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't that make sense?
Yes.
So I empathize with them, and that was a very life-changing moment for me, where I decided I don't have to make this fit into any theology.
Right.
I can just love. Theology be damned. Like I can just love people,
Yeah.
and theology somehow has to follow that, and that's one of the things I cartoon a lot about. Like for example, Jesus holding there's a rainbow sheep, and there's a white sheep saying, but what about the verses? And then Jesus says, love over verses.
Yes.
Like, that makes sense to me, love over verses. But that upsets a lot of people
Yeah.
because they think verses come first.
Which is interesting because they in the New Testament they came and asked Jesus and they said, "What is it?" And the two, you said there's two laws, whatever, right? Love God and love thy neighbor, and so
And common words, love.
yes, yeah, that was one of the biggest things that stuck out to me. I was like, in these is summed all the commandments, right? And so I was like, all the rest of it doesn't matter. The message is love. That's the entire message.
Yeah.
Would you mind if we talked a little bit about people in the community? They're feeling the pressure. They're feeling they're outside of the box, but they're feeling I don't know, they're in a place where they want to walk away from beliefs, but they don't know ways to do that are maybe safe to do so. Or can we kind of have a conversation about ways to walk away from beliefs that causes the least amount of harm to them and their community? Because I know when I stepped away, family walked away. You lose your community, you lose your religion, your trying to find your identity, because in a lot of cases your identity is summed up in the belief system, right? And
Yeah.
so it's a big loss that walks away, and sometimes you feel you just have this massive hole in your heart.
Mhm.
Can we talk about how to walk away in a way that causes the least amount of harm?
Well, that doesn't just happen with gay people or trans people. Uh, it happens with anybody who is questioning their beliefs and questioning the relationship to the church and the community.
Yes.
That was my experience. Even though I'm straight, I walked away from the church,
Right.
and it was devastating, absolutely devastating, because we lost our friends, all of our relationships, our support system,
Yeah.
everything. We lost it all. But it wasn't because of who I was. It was because of what I did or didn't believe and the way I
Right.
was behaving. But it wasn't because of who I was as a person. So people who are gay or trans and they walk away because of who they are, that's an even deeper trauma,
Right.
right? And I don't know if it's fair to me to speak to that, because that hasn't been my experience.
I
But
mean, but we've had this conversation in other episodes that we've done, though, that a large part of the trans and LGBTQ experience isn't solo to their experience. It is something that goes outside of it, but people don't recognize that it exists in the rest of the world.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, your experience walking away would be similar too. What did you do to kind of mitigate
yeah.
that response?
So the biggest pain point, I think, for people doing that is the loneliness
Yes.
and the rejection that comes with that and everything. So I always say, look, trust your gut, follow your heart, but count the cost too. And if nobody's got a gun to your head, hopefully, um, to force you to do anything. You can make your own decisions at your own rate, at your own speed. And so there's some people who just want to cut it all off with an axe suddenly, and some people take their time. And but it's totally up to you how you do it.
Right.
And so that's what I always recommend. Just do you. There's only one way to deconstruct, and that's your way. And so you get to decide how to do it. Do it slow, do it fast. You can decide, and you can keep it to yourself. You can keep secrets. One of the big things for me was learning that I didn't have to tell everything about myself,
That's
share
a hard
everything.
lesson.
Right.
It's a hard lesson. And, just to do it at the way I want to. I'm going to take control of my life. I'm going to take the wheel from now on.
Yes.
And I'm going to be the master of my destiny, the captain of my own ship.
That's beautiful.
And so that's my first piece of advice is do it your way and
Yeah.
take as much time as you need. But then, Lisa and I, here we found ourselves completely alone, and it was like the perfect storm, so many things happening at once. But we decided, okay, how do we make friends?
Yeah.
It was almost like starting life over again.
It is.
It's taken a while, but now we're at a place where we have friends and we're people we feel safe with. And, it's not the same as having 200 people, let's say a whole church.
Right.
I now question the healthiness of that often, but we have friends and relationships now that we trust and feel safe with and enjoy, and we're busy enough now. So but that takes work.
Well, and they get to see you for who you are rather than what system you belong to.
Exactly. It's much different.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest beauties I saw when I walked away, was that people just get to be who they are. They can be authentic in themselves, and you get to be seen for who you are, and not have some identity perpetuated on you.
Yeah.
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 Um,
Like it's with my kids, like in their groups, people they're with, like we've hung out with their friends, like at parties, if they'd have a party here. Our kids are in their 30s now. There are 3 kids in their 30s. And a couple of them are in the States. And we've attended parties, and like they don't care.
yeah.
They don't care who's what and who they love and all. It just isn't on their radar,
Yeah.
you know. But the churches I was in, that was always on the radar. Like who you love, what your identity is, what your gender is, who you're in relationship with. Everything was surveyed.
Yes.
Constant surveillance. And with my kids and their generation, at least I'm generalizing, they don't care, and I love that.
Yeah. I love that too. I don't know. It's just like it. Well, and when it comes to parenting, it's a whole different style of parenting because you're just giving freedom for people to make whatever space it is that they need to make and be who they are.
Yeah.
In some ways, I think that's almost more freeing for the parents too, because they're not they don't have to feel, and maybe I'm over speaking here, but you don't have to feel your own personal pressure to make the kids into who you see that they should be.
Oh my. I know so many people, parents they've lost their kids because they were trying to control them and how they turned out. And a lot of pressures on the parents too,
Yeah.
because the churches they're in or whatever, the pressure's on them to make their kids look a certain way. And,
Yes.
oh, we decided we're going to let our kids be whoever they are, let them discover themselves and be their most authentic selves. Yeah, it ruffled a lot of feathers, but we love our kids. They're very, very individual, very unique, and wonderful humans, and I'm friends with a lot of younger parents who have like teenage kids who are coming out as trans or gay or whatever, and they've got great parents who are providing a safe space for them to discover that and to be that and express that, right? So
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
So one of the, I guess, last questions I have in this section is I've seen some of the comments that come through, and I've seen a lot of your artwork, if not all of your artwork. Do you hate church?
I know. It's I just woke up this morning and I thought about a cartoon I might try to draw.
Yeah.
Where a person says, "I didn't reject the church rejected me."
Yes.
And I don't hate the church. Like the church is my mom, my spiritual mother, but I left home.
Yeah.
And she's very controlling. And, I'll visit once in a while, but I can't live with her, and I have to have boundaries.
Right.
I don't hate the church. I wish the church can be a wonderful place. And there are some wonderful churches out there. Like a few weeks ago, I went to a church in Toronto to speak, and it's a metropolitan community church. There's some in the States, and it was wonderful. I mean, there's a lesbian pastor, same-sex married. The person helping me was, set up my system and my show and all that kind of thing was trans. There were gay people everywhere.
Right.
There were people of different color and age, and it was incredible. And I had a wonderful time. And I was so encouraged because if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's possible. And so, no, I don't hate the church. I just wish it would get its act together.
We all do.
Asking a lot, but
Yeah. I don't know. One of the things I've told people for a while is like I don't hate other people's belief systems. I'll give them space for them to have their belief systems, but also recognize that that's not something I can be a part of.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you hate on it because you don't agree with it. It's just not where I'm at. But I'm also not going to go shit on somebody else's beliefs.
Right.
Yeah.
I also feel similar. I've never had any religious or church affiliation, never. And so, but if someone else wants to go do that, fine. Go do that. Great, good on you. But I won't participate.
Well, and I think there's a difference between not shitting on somebody's religion or belief system and also calling out bullshit. Like I will turn around and say I'm not gonna crap on your religion, but also if you're hating somebody for being trans or whatever, I'm gonna call that out.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, when I just recently had a couple of friends also leave their church, leave their beliefs behind, and I'm over here just like, well, how do you feel now? And they're actually relieved, and it's like, nice,
Yeah.
the weight's off their shoulders and there's no pressure, and so it does sound kind of weird to congratulate them. It kind of feels weird, but at the same time, I'm happy for them. Like they get to, be liberated and live their life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and transition
Yay.
into the next part of the thing. I would like to show some of your artwork because some of this meant a lot to me, and it's helping a lot of people. And I would love to share some of it. Maybe hear some of the background behind these pieces, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah.
I in particular got to ask, like, why the name Naked Pastor?
Oh yes, I was going to ask that too.
Like, why? Where does that originate from?
Well, I started blogging back in 2005. I think it was height of the blogosphere, and pastors were blogging and everything. But I wanted mine to stand out a little bit, and I wanted to differentiate myself by being totally honest as a pastor. So I wanted to sort of tear back the veil and let people see what's going on in the church.
You wanted to rip it off.
And just show everything. Just be real and raw and transparent and honest. So I thought Naked Pastor is great. And at the time, the Naked Chef, the Naked Archaeologist, the Naked Truth, all that were hot at the time. And I thought Naked Pastor would be pretty cool. I've run into all kinds of problems with it, and people think I'm some kind of a, pedophile or whatever,
pervert or something. Yeah.
But I'm one of the most modest people I know.
It's just a handle.
But you're not going to forget the name, that's for sure.
I'm like the most humble person I know.
And how would you describe your style? Is this? I actually have not seen any of your artwork. I saved that for this episode so I could so I could have a genuine reaction. But what would you call your style?
I would say minimalist. I try to convey as much as I can with as few lines and words as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the gold standard for me is a New Yorker cartoon.
Yeah.
They're amazing. But I try to convey in a very simple line drawing and with few or no words at all.
Right.
What I'm trying to convey. So.
Right.
Minimalist.
Let me see if I can share my screen with
Yes.
you if this works.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it just did that. Oh, let's go with this one.
Yeah.
Okay, are you able to see that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this this is what I'm working with here.
Cool.
So let me just cut this over. And you know what? No, I can't do that yet. Anyway, so this is the first piece. that I came across, and this just meant the world to me.
Wow.
Yeah, this meant the
I know
world to
I know
me.
families like that.
You what?
I know families like that.
Yeah, I,
Yeah,
this one.
that's called family fun.
Yeah, this is one of the pieces I own. It meant the world to me.
Cool.
That you can be different and loved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just like how happy the other sheep are. Like they're just like, oh look.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's so much joy
Yeah.
that's being expressed there.
Yeah.
Um, kind of
Yeah.
kind of going back to that thing that you don't have to be in the box to have joy.
No, that's right. Yeah, I
Um,
like that one too.
yeah, that was that's probably my favorite piece out of all of them that you've done. Um,
Cool.
we got this
Oh yeah.
one.
What's that say?
The expectations of others were the bars I used for my, or were the bars I used for my own cage.
Yep.
Oh my.
My story. That's my story. Many people's story. That's one of my more popular ones. That gets shared a lot. A lot of people identify with it.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. I love it. There we go. We have the literal box.
Yeah, it just brings us back to the box.
Yeah, the literal
Yeah.
box.
Look at the lineup though of all the people and all the bars. Eh?
Yeah, yeah. That one meant the world to me. Well,
And that
the
person's
other
not
one.
even happy putting the bar up. And it's like, okay.
Right.
Look at that face. It's like, okay.
I suppose. Um, here's another one. Um,
Puzzle of love.
yeah, everybody's just having a good time, and you have the
Oh.
black sheep in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, same characters,
A
just
black
different
sheep, a rainbow sheep, and a trans
Yeah.
sheep, and then Jesus, and then they're eating popcorn and pizza and
Pizza.
Doritos or whatever, cans of pop.
Chips and salsa.
Yeah. Puzzle party.
Yeah. What's the little thing on the right by the trans sheep?
It's a
Like
puzzle
right,
piece and then a
right here. Yeah, let me pull it
Uh,
up full screen so you can see it.
oh, it's a can of pop or something.
oh with a straw.
Oh, that made
With a straw.
yeah.
You say
Oh,
pop
yeah.
and but soda, whatever.
Soda can. Yeah, I don't know if there's. We used to say pop a lot.
When I was a kid.
Right.
I said pop, yeah.
Once in a blue moon. Yeah,
Can of Coke
can of Coke. Yep.
or beer. I don't know.
Why
department.
not? Why not? it's
Jesus drank wine though.
it's the Sacramento wine in a glass or cup. I have this meme, whatever, and it shows like a vial of estrogen, and the person sitting here holding it with the finger ready to whatever, and it says cracking a cold one with the boys.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. What else we got here?
Oh yeah.
What happened to us? He stood between us and the church. Ah, yeah. That one takes a minute to kind of wrap your head around.
Yeah, a lot of people they get very angry at that one, but
What kind of comments do you get about that?
well, that Jesus wouldn't defend trans or gay people, LGBTQ people.
And I'm also thinking like Jesus is the church kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't
Well,
know if I have any of the church ones where the churches are throwing rocks.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I downloaded those ones or not. Not download, but anyway, yeah,
That
Yeah.
picture, that picture's powerful.
yeah. I like that one a lot. Here we go. I
Yeah.
have
So this
some-
one, I did a whole series with a bunch of different colors. There's trans and I think bi and gender fluid and lesbian and so on. Where
right.
I did a cartoon where another sheep is shaving a rainbow sheep
Yes.
and shocked to discover that their skin is rainbow. They thought they were going to
Yeah.
shave off the gay and get down to the pure sheep
Yes.
pink skin and everything. And I called that one conversion therapy.
Let me see here. Let me just pull it up.
This one is similar in the message. It's not just a surface thing. It's an identity thing.
No, we got this. I swear, if a naked pastor pops up right now.
Oh, I know. It would be terrible.
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, there it is.
Let me see if I can just. I don't know what's
Can you
going to be
drag
the
and drop?
easiest. I don't know. Whatever. We're just going to do this. Okay. Let me come back over here and I can just see if I can add it real quick. Image. And do you see it? I don't see it. Okay, well, anyway, you what? No, I don't see it. Okay, well, that's okay. It is on your website.
I have it. Let me see if I can share my screen. Hold on.
It should give you the option. 'Cause we did it before once.
Window. Here. You see that?
Oh, I found the picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, give me
No, just browse the wrong
for
folder.
whatever it was in the wrong folder. Yeah. Here we go. There it is. Okay.
Aha.
There it is.
Yeah. Now I just gotta.
Gotta size it.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Sheep conversion therapy. That's it.
Right.
Yep.
There we go. And now the audience can see it. Yeah. That was one that stuck out to me a while ago too. Was the shock on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I really liked
like
that
that
one. Me
Yeah.
too. Let's see here. I can do it this way. Oh no. Go away. There we go. Okay. So we did that one. Here's the next one. Now, I didn't have the original, but I found this picture of you with it. The Love Without the Fine Print. This is the other one that I have. I liked it because it has, I don't know, love in the rainbow colors, and then the really small asterisk, whatever, without the fine print.
I like that one too.
Yeah, that one's one of my other favorites.
But, there's a lot of people who believe love should have a fine print and that it is conditional. And that's one of the areas where I fight to defend what love is. I think people in churches or in any organization that excludes gay people or trans people have a fatal misunderstanding of what love is.
Right.
And so I think of, for example, the parable of Jesus that Jesus told of the sower. And that's one of my cartoons too, called The Sower, where Jesus is just throwing hearts everywhere.
Yes.
Now in the Gospels, when Jesus says, notice the sower, he casts seed and it goes everywhere. It lands on the rocks.
Yes.
It lands on the path. It lands in the weeds. It lands on the good soil. And that's what love is. It's indiscriminate. It just gets thrown everywhere. And Jesus even said one time, it's like the rain and like the sun. It shines and falls on everyone indiscriminately.
Yeah.
And so people who try to say, no, those people don't get sun or rain, that's a massive misunderstanding then of what I think the biblical concept of love is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something you still hear a lot was I can agree. I can love the sinner, but I can love the sinner and hate the sin.
Yeah.
Can you
That's
kind
so
of,
devastating. Yeah.
can you explain that's one of the things that hurts any person really a lot is that phrase. Can you just kind of talk about how it is? I'm trying to think of the words, but
What it means to him.
sure. I mean, I don't know. I can't put the words together that I'm trying to ask, but that phrase hurts a lot of people, and it's something that I personally don't agree with, and I don't know. Do you want to just kind of talk about that for a second?
Well, first of all, that harks back to the Inquisition. You know what I mean? Where you you felt that you could torture people to death to save the soul. You know, that you could torture their bodies to save the soul,
Yeah.
and that you could reject people and punish people and torture people to save the soul, and that's what, you know, that save the sinner, or love the sinner, hate the sin. It has that same feel to it,
Yeah.
where I love your soul, but I gotta punish you, to save your soul. I gotta punish your body, reject you,
Yeah.
and also the second thing is you're assuming being gay is a sin or being trans is a sin. Suddenly, when you say, well, I love gay people because Jesus loved prostitutes and tax collectors and sinners. So, wait a minute. Whoa. Why are you
Yeah.
lumping? So it's, there's a massive misunderstanding of what being gay and being trans is.
Well,
And yeah, go ahead.
the thought that used to come to me, or the thing I used to tell a lot of people, was if you say I love but, you just put conditions on the love. I love you,
Yeah.
but I don't like you do this. Well, there's now a
Yeah.
condition to the love where yeah.
Yeah. I have a cartoon where there's a guy on a gurney and about to go into surgery,
Yes.
and God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit are there, and Jesus has a scalpel, and the guy's holding a sign, and it says God loves you, but, and then God says we have to remove your butt.
Don't be an ass. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump back into some of these pictures here. And please wear this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
First thing that comes to mind is conformity.
Yes.
Conformity, exactly. Yeah.
Now I gotta go find it again. I wrote that post that I shared with the other podcast last week. You remember which one?
Yeah.
About Republican Jesus?
Yeah.
I made a post a while ago, and I'm trying to find it here real quick. We're almost there, I think. That's what this reminds me of, though. So here was the thing I wrote, right? It says, "For behold, I am Republican Jesus." And then Jesus said unto the sick, "You better have insurance." And Jesus said to the stranger, "Are you here legally?" And Jesus said unto the hungry, "My taxes better not be paying for those loaves and fishes." And Jesus said to the poor, "This is your own fault." And Jesus said unto the gays, "Marriage is sacred, unless it's my third." And Jesus said, "Blessed are the gatekeepers, for they know better than thou." And Jesus said, "Take up thy cross and wait in the hallway, for they shall not enter the bathroom." And Jesus said unto the trans people, "Change not thy garments nor thy body, for I delight in conformity more than love."
That's great.
Yeah, so that's what this reminds me of, is we want you to wear this and conform to this.
Yeah.
They even say
Yeah.
please.
They do say please.
Well,
Please.
some churches that think they're progressive say you're uh, we're affirming and we welcome you. What they mean is, you might, if you're gay, you got to hide it,
Yeah.
and you can't act gay.
Right.
That's the sin. So you have to be celibate the rest of your life, right? So that's what this is about. Just wear this, conform, fit in, don't rock the boat.
Yeah. I
Don't
found.
act.
Don't rock the. I found. I find other belief systems fascinating, and so I'll go visit other churches just to see what people believe and just to kind of have that experience. And there's been so many churches that I've been to where they go, oh yeah, all people are welcome, and we welcome all. But then you show up, and then it's like, well, except for this,
Yeah.
we don't welcome that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
Been there.
Yeah. I think we got a few more. This one, I love this one. This one makes me so happy. I mean, there's just so much joy with everybody, and they're all getting to play together. And I don't know,
Yep.
maybe that's the joy of when you're inclusive.
Oh, there. You know what? That's the thing, right? Like, there's so much happiness in the LGBTQIA community.
Yeah,
Uh, Anytime I've been a part of a community gathering or whatever, there's just so much joy and freedom and a lack of condescension and judgment. It's refreshing.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That
But
one,
pride, like the pride events or parades, they're a
yes,
riot. Like they're just fun, you know. And of course, religious people see that as, you know, enjoying the world or whatever.
right.
But yeah, celebrating sin or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that's true. There is so much beauty to be found outside of church. You don't have to be inside church to find beauty.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's something that stuck out to me before was you step away from church and they go, oh well, you're not going to find love out there. You have to stay in the church to find love. There's no beauty outside of church. But then they'll find other people that aren't believers and they'll go, oh, this person's such a good person. But as soon as you step away, suddenly you're no longer a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Um, well, here's one throwing stones. It's not the church, but same idea. Jesus protecting everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I actually drew that for a trans pastor.
I love that. Have you talked to the trans pastor in Maine? What was her name? Oh, now I feel like a shithead.
Gwen Fry.
Gwen Fry.
Gwen Fry.
Gwen Fry. Do you ever talk to Gwen Fry, the pastor in Maine?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. She had a.
I'm just letting you know. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. We don't mind. Yeah, I don't know. She had a fascinating story where she came out and had to go through a lot of the persecution within the church. They ended up
Yeah, I
moving
think
to
we're
Maine and
friends.
they did all that. You what?
I think we're friends.
Yeah, I thought so too, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Gwen Fry. Yeah. All right, so we got that one. Let's see here. I don't hate you. Oh, it didn't go. Here we go. I don't hate you. I just hate everything about you, and that's love. It's so snarky, but it points it out.
It looks like Bear's thinking, do people really think like that? Yes, they do.
Yes,
They do, and it's real.
the pain is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's love.
No love like Christian hate.
Yeah, well, that's
That's the,
no,
That's it.
I have that was the song. The song was "No Love Like Christian Hate,"
No
but I got the
love
sticker
like
on my
Christian
computer
hate.
says "There's no hate like Christian love."
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see here. What else we got? Here's one that doesn't specifically have a trans whatever, but it's non-binary, right? And this is another one that I know that you have in multiple different sheep colors.
generations.
Yeah, whoa, hold it right there. He wasn't kicked out. We kicked him. He wasn't lost. We kicked him out. I
I
know, and
know,
I found
found
them.
him.
This one started where the first cartoon I drew was Jesus was carrying a white sheep, and it's I and Jesus says I no Jesus doesn't say anything. So the original cartoon is Jesus is carrying a white sheep,
Yeah,
and they say whoa, hold it right there. He wasn't lost. We kicked him out.
yeah,
And then somebody says, could you make the sheep Jesus carrying a rainbow sheep? So I did that. And then somebody
right.
said, can you make the sheep
A
a trans
trans.
sheep?
Yeah.
And then I kept getting these requests. So I think I have like 10 different iterations of that cartoon
Yeah,
and all the different pronoun options as well. So,
right. Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
that was one of the things that stuck out to me when I first saw this one was it was, whoa, hold it right there. He wasn't lost. We kicked him out. And the trans sheep said, I know, and I found her. And
yeah,
so it was so affirming that, hey,
Hmm.
I'll respect you where you're at and who you are.
yeah.
Um, Actually, that's another
Well,
thing that
Yeah.
you hear a lot, is uh, one of the things you'll hear people talk about is they'll say, if Jesus came today, he would be among all the poor. He would be among the marginalized communities, right? You'll hear this, he'll be there. So, I mean, that's what happened. If we want to have a belief in Christ, that's what happened in his life. Was he was among the marginalized communities. Uh, and
mhm.
really loving and supporting those communities. And so for us to turn around and uh, when you go and say that to somebody that has their different beliefs, one of the things you hear about was, yeah, he'll be around the communities and he'll be telling them to repent. What would you say to something like that?
Well, my best reaction to that is to draw a cartoon. And one of my cartoons that more offensive ones is a two frame one. So Jesus is inside the church with a bunch of white sheep, and there's a rainbow sheep at the door, and the white sheep say, uh, "You're not welcome here." And
Yeah,
then in the next frame, Jesus is walking away with the rainbow sheep,
yeah,
and the white sheep say, "Whoa, where'd Jesus go?" And that upsets a lot of people. But what I'm trying to illustrate is that even using the word inclusive, you're centering yourself
yeah,
and you're going to let somebody come in. You're going to give them permission. You're going to allow them. You're going to include them. It's still centering yourself. And, and, and they think they have the right to exclude people. But what if Jesus is with the marginalized and the center is out there
yeah.
and suddenly you're decentered and you get all offended? Like, can't you see the hypocrisy in that?
Right.
And
Oh yeah.
so that's what I try to illustrate. It's hard to illustrate that decentering concept where, because um, white, straight, male dominated, it's that's the center. And so if I'm constantly trying to decenter that,
Yeah.
and it offends a lot of people, but it's the truth, you know.
I feel like
Because
there's a cartoon to be had with like male clergy allowing female clergy or disallowing female clergy.
Hmm.
yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I saw one yesterday where it shows like the table and it shows all the men talking about the table and something about patriarchy and they go, what's the problem with the patriarchy or something along the lines? Uh,
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Or a bunch of clergy inside the church, and there's a woman standing there, and they're like, "What do we do with it?"
Go make us a sandwich while we talk.
Yeah, I've
I
done
mean,
that.
but that's the concept, right? I mean, that's the concept.
I did that where I said, what if there was a woman on the cross, and it shows Jesus saying to the woman, "This very day you shall make me a sandwich in paradise."
Well, and
Wow.
that's interesting too, right? Yeah, There's a meme that I saw for a little while said, Jesus was the first trans person, or Jesus was trans, was born of Mary with no physical father, and so for it to come out as him,
Yeah.
Jesus had to be trans because his chromosomes would have been XX.
Yep.
And then Eve was the first
Eve,
trans
yeah.
woman Eve was the first trans woman because she was pulled from a man's ribs.
Yeah, you take XY DNA and make a woman. Isn't that
Yeah.
Trans.
Eve?
We got 2 trans people in the scriptures now.
Yep.
All right, let's see what other pictures I got here. Oh, we made it through the slideshow.
Oh, on
That-
average,
That was great.
on average, how long does it take you to illustrate and color and complete each photo or picture?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it depends. Like a simple one, I could draw a cartoon in like maybe half an hour. But if one where there's a lot of color involved and shading and everything, could take me a few hours. So any 30 minutes to a few hours.
Yeah.
Like I drew the other day of Jesus scrolling on his phone, and he's thinking, well, I'm trending again, but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And that took me a long time. That took several hours to draw that one.
Right.
Do you prefer colored pencils, markers, or these look digital maybe?
Some are digital, and then some are drawn by hand, and I'll use whatever I have at my display. I have a huge case full of colored pencils and markers
I bet you do.
that I'll use. But I try to avoid color if I can, but if it has to do with the LGBTQ community, then there's going to be color.
I mean, that's how you separate it.
That's how you distinguish them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are most of your drawings all LGBTQ related, or do you have other depictions?
No.
No,
I'd
there's a
say
lot.
a good portion is related to LGBTQ, but I'd say maybe 20%, at least one a week. I think I do a LGBTQIA related cartoon, but I have other issues that I deal with too, like feminism and racism, spiritual abuse, and often politics if
Yeah.
they intersect.
I saw the Trump ones this recently, and I'd never seen the Trump ones. That's new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people are like, why are you doing politics all of a sudden? For me, I don't do a lot of politics. I don't do political cartoons unless there's an intersection with spiritual concerns. So
Sure.
when I feel that, for example, I did a cartoon about Trump.
In bed with the
What, are you laughing at one?
yeah. He's in bed with the church.
Oh, yeah. So that's an example. Like, I think the church got in bed with Trump. I do.
You say
The American
peace,
church, anyway.
Peace when there is
So-
no peace.
Or this one's one of my favorites. It shows Trump leaning forward and Jesus leaning backwards. That's one of my
That
favorite.
hair.
That's my
That
favorite.
hair.
Oh, anyway.
Well, because he does lean forward. He has that weird posture.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
What? This one? Oh, I'm not sharing that shit.
But why do we have to see it?
That's like, yeah, well, it says naked pastor and Trump is the Google search, and there's a lot of naked Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't search naked pastor 2 words. Don't search that unless you want to see that.
No.
You got pictures of that?
No.
Well, and so a little more on the serious side, though. When you go to your website, there's a lot of pictures that aren't Aren't church related. It's just art that you've done, and they're beautiful pieces
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
My,
just beautiful pieces.
my dog's playing right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Um,
Okay.
That's your stomach.
yeah, I do watercolor paintings as well. So, I do a lot.
Yeah.
Did you go to an art school, or is this just hobby?
Self-taught. My dad was a painter at home, and so I learned a lot from him. And then I took art all the way through high school. And in Ontario, where I grew up, there was a grade 13 where I took art, which is like first year university. And and then I'm just basically a self-taught artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I've looked at your art that you're doing. That's not really just yeah, right. And
it's called the Timber Series.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen it shows the same. It shows the same person on all of these, but I mean, they're just gorgeous pieces of art.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really like them. Which one are you looking at?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm just looking at the color scheme.
Yeah, I mean they're beautiful pieces of art. I really like them.
I have my controversial side,
Oh,
and I have my contemplative side.
You should do a Santa one.
Santa.
Santa and Jesus. Anyway,
yeah, I did. I've done some Santa ones.
now I gotta look.
Now we're gonna find it.
Yeah,
Oh, there is
Oh,
a Santa
there
and
is a
Jesus.
Jesus.
There's no way you
yeah, I
can.
did a lot of Santa and Jesus.
It looks like they're sitting at the bar. Santa's got milk and cookies, and Jesus got wine and bread. Santa says there's no way you can understand the pain of seeing something you began as a free expression of love being turned into a major commercial enterprise.
Yes.
That's clever. That's really clever.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It shows Santa, the Easter Bunny, the turkey, and Cupid. And then baby Jesus in the manger, and all the other characters outside of Jesus are saying, "This is the competition."
Yeah, they're all thinking the same thing. Like, this is the competition.
Oh, it's clever. I
Well,
love
I'm
it.
glad you're entertained. That makes me happy.
Yeah, it's clever. I love it. David, thank you so much for coming on. Like,
You're welcome.
for me, this really is an honor to finally get to sit and have this conversation with you.
Thanks.
Yeah, this really is an honor. This is one of the episodes that I've just been looking forward to for a long time. I have a couple friends that are pastors and reverends, and I told them I was going to be having you on the podcast. They were excited. They're looking forward to listening to this episode.
Cool.
Yeah, the message you're spreading is full of love and acceptance and joy. And I think it's changing lives. It is changing lives. It changed mine. It helped me in a moment where I didn't know what to do, but at least I knew Jesus loved me. Was the position that you helped me find. And
Thank you so much.
yeah, it really meant a lot to me. So I really appreciate that you took the time to come and do this. It really does mean the world to me. So,
Anytime. Thank you so much. I enjoyed myself.
yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Real quick, do you want to go ahead and do a shameless shout out and tell people where they can go if they want to find your art and help support ways they can help support you?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell people where to go right now. So my home base is nakedpastor.com, and from there they can find everything. But like my safest community online is Instagram,
Yeah.
and I really highly monitor that. So
Yeah.
follow me there. And I just came out with a children's book called The Rainbow Sheep,
Right.
and you can find that on Amazon or anywhere books are sold. But thank you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you reach out to me, I'm really good at responding through
You are.
messages or whatever.
You are really
So,
good about that.
Don't be afraid to reach out. I'm here for you.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that so much.
Right on.
Bear, you want to go ahead and
Yeah.
close us out?
Yeah. Thank you to all of our viewers, our audience, for joining us today. And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, as well as YouTube and Spotify. And if you would like to be a guest on our podcast, you email Daphne at transplantingpodcast.com. Otherwise, the website, transplantingpodcast.com. And yeah, leave us a line. We enjoy hearing from everyone. And as always, welcome to the family.
Oh, well, I almost said welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the family. I messed it up. I fucked it up.
We can cut that. As always,
welcome to the
welcome to the family.
All right.
More.